Didn't drop it though. Southeast Two Wheels. I'm out here at Parsons Mountain OHV Trail, and I'm on the CRF 250L, and I gave it a little bit of throttle on the way getting here, and I'm wondering if that was a mistake, because I'm having to stop every 3 or 4 miles to let it cool down. I got a check engine light, and the radiator fan's just screaming. So hopefully that's all it is. But it's my first time out here on this trail, and it's pretty exciting. It's pretty difficult in some places. It's kind of chewed up by four-wheeler trail or four-wheelers, and I don't think side-by-sides are allowed on these trails. But it's nothing that this bike can't handle. It may prove that it's something that I can't handle, but so far I've handled it pretty well, and I'm excited. It's kind of my first trip off of gravel, I guess, mostly pavement, some gravel, but this is my first, I guess you call it single track, but it's kind of a four-wheeler trail. But I'm about an hour south of Abbeville, where Parsons Mountain is, and it's a nice little ride up past Clarks Hill Lake or Lake Thurman. But yeah, it's worth coming up to. It's worth trying out. And something just moved over there in the woods, but stay tuned. Didn't drop it though. Probably going to, so
drop it. Woo.
Parsons Mountain OHV Trail in Abbeville, South Carolina. I've ridden, I believe, half of the available trails out here, and it was pretty exciting. I'm not used to this. I'm new to dual sports, I'm new to motorcycles, and most of my experience is on gravel roads. But today this was a learning experience. It was very different. A lot of hill climbs, a lot of rocks towards the end there, and a lot of mud. A lot of the trail was chewed up by four-wheelers and stuff like that get out here, which is, I mean, they're allowed to do, but it just adds to it. Honestly, it gives it another element of excitement. And but yeah, so this was an exercise in what I could do with this vehicle. So this is a local enough trail that it gives me an idea. I think it was a good test today to know what this bike is capable of and what I'm capable of on it, because that's a big difference. But yeah, so this is part of Sumter National Forest, and I rode in here. It was about an hour from where I'm from, but it wasn't a bad ride, and I came up and paid my $5 fee. I actually had to go about 5 miles north of here into Abbeville town, and I had to get change for a 20, and I topped off my fuel while I was there. If you live in South Carolina or Georgia, or even North Carolina, I think it's worth the trip to come down here. It's the only OHV trail that I'm familiar with, but it served its purpose today for the tests that I wanted to run, and for the fun I wanted to have. So I highly recommend this trail. I will be doing it again. I will not be taking my V-Strom out here. I was thinking about that half the time I was out there. This would not be possible on a bigger bike. I've seen people do it. I think Bearded Grump from around here on YouTube, he's done it on a V-Strom. He's done it on a KTM 990, and more power to him. I don't care to ride a big bike like that out here. I leave that for the road, and gravel roads and stuff, it's fine. But this stuff, I wouldn't do it. It's about 5:25, so I'm about to make the trek back to my house and let everybody know that I've made it, and give them an ETA on when I get home. Thank you, and be sure to like and subscribe. I would appreciate all your support trying to get this channel up and running, and would love to have you join along. And thank you.